Hi everybody, welcome back to From the Anverts. James here. It has finished. West Ham United 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 at the London Stadium. Big 3 points for West Ham. And I think that this was a game that we just had to win. Great result, great performance, the works. Fantastic game of football from West Ham, playing with such fluidity, liquid football, very well concentrated and controlled game. And we deserved to win it in the end. What was very impressive as well is the fact David Moyes was willing to make changes to his team. And I'll talk about those a little more in the video. But look, fantastic result for us. Performance deserved that result. And I cannot be more thankful of the players for what they did in the game to get this victory. So there were 3 changes to the West Ham team. Dawson, Cornet and Scamacca came in. Kerr was playing at right back, given that he played very well in that position in the England-Germany game. Fornals was dropped. Paqueta was playing in the number 10 role. And I think that a lot of fans were happy to see the changes, but it wasn't 100% what fans wanted. Yes, 3 players had come in, but we may have wanted to see some things a little more different. Maybe Antonio on the left wing. It's a possibility. Maybe Downs instead of Souček, as I've said before in other videos. But either way, it was a good lineup overall. Wolves struggling big time. They have so many injuries, and it's really not helping them out. You know, Ruben Neves had to play as a centre-back, and that was something that even shocked the commentators on Fubo TV. They didn't really have anyone on the bench who could come off and make an impact other than Traore. Maybe Diego Costa, but he hasn't played in the Premier League for a while now. And they've only got Costa in because Kalajdzic has done his ACL. It was a slow start to the game, I thought, from West Ham, despite the result that happened at the end. Podence forced Fabianski into 2 saves. He struck from distance on both shots. Souček's passing at the first half of the first half was poor. He gave the ball away a couple of times, which really didn't help, and he looked to coast a little bit. I thought Bowen had more energy about him. He struck the ball at Sarr, and Scamacca couldn't follow through. People are saying that it was a really big chance scuff, but it was very difficult to follow it up with that amount of pressure and the trajectory of the ball. Bowen was building into the game. I think Scamacca was as well. And one thing that was very key about Scamacca was the fact that he was able to hold the ball up for longer periods of a time without losing it. Whereas Antonio holds up the ball and then loses it at the last moment, Scamacca's able to hold up the ball for long periods, keep it to his feet without going down or losing it, and move it when he needs to. I think that it was a changing point, really, when Neto came off and Traore came on, because West Wolves have just lost another midfielder. I said in my preview their midfielders are very good. They lost him to a lower body injury. West Ham made some space to move the ball around, but no one could connect with the ball. Souček started running down the right wing a bit more and tried to cross it into the box, but I think his crossing was just a bit too high, because Cornet smashed one really high over. And speaking of Cornet, he suffered a leg injury in the first half as well, and Fornals had to come on. People are saying, oh yeah, Moyes hates Ben Rami. Yeah, I could see why at that point. But any dampers were soon turned into smiles, because it was 1-0 to West Ham. Bowen gets into the box, tries to go centrally. He's a menace against Wolves, by the way. Bowen loves scoring against this lot. Scored against them twice in the 2020-21 season. And again here, trying to make something happen. Gets into the middle again on that right side. Cuts in, fires it. It is deflected out back to Scamacca. Fires it and curls it from outside the box. Beautifully past Jose Sarr. Class finish. And Scamacca's keeping the ball was, like I say, key to controlling the game. Key to controlling our attacks. Paqueta going a little bit deeper. He was playing really well. Nice passing, has to be said. The referee, Paul Tierney, made a few dodgy calls, though, in that first half. I think there was one where Paqueta went down, a foul wasn't given. Player was down, he still played on. Some really silly calls there. But West Ham playing liquid football. Nice tempo and steadiness, and Paqueta feeding off the forwards. Nice. Good stuff. Start of the second half, Fornals showed a little bit of tenacity and a sense of eagerness to move the ball. especially on that side of the field. Still don't think he's good on the wing, though, because he was shaky still. But who else is good on the wing, though? Bowen, 2-0. Great finish, drilled it low. Sarr's fingertips weren't even close to the ball. After that, he dislocated his finger. And it looked a bit gruesome on TV, so he had to have it strapped up. I suppose dislocating your finger in the game is a small price to pay for not having to go off injured and be sidelined for a while. Guedes came off for Wolves, and on came Diego Costa for his Wolves debut. West Ham, calm and controlled way of moving the ball. And I repeat the word control because that's what it was, just controlled. From us. And it worked. We were able to pick people out better. And there were no rash decisions as far as passing was concerned. Declan Rice's movement on the ball, offensive and defensively, was superb. Absolutely fantastic performance to build on his international displays. Scamacca came off and on came Mikel Antonio. I'd like to see him together, you know, like I said, winger and all that, but it just wasn't to be. West Ham started to lose a little bit of control. Wolves just thankfully couldn't execute. A goal was flagged offside because Costa went too early, but I hope that was a wake-up call. Kura, right back position. Got to talk about this. Excellent. Always last to tackle, but always last to win the ball at the same time. And that was a good thing because he was winning the ball and getting it out of play. I thought Dawson back at centre-back was really good. He put in a solid performance too. Zuma did put in a good performance as well. Cresswell, a little bit shaky with the crossing. When Emerson came on, it helped him out. Paqueta came off as a result of that sub. Maybe it was just a bit more defensive. Or maybe they just have to have a wing back to help that side of the field. Because that side of the field struggled a little bit, I think. And, yeah. Yeah, it was really good, though. Emerson came on with his energy. Helped us out a bit more. Antonio had 2 shots blocked. And that's why I think starting Scamacca might have been a better decision to start the game. Maybe just have Antonio there for the physicality. But having 2 blocked shots and not executing, yeah, a bit worrying from him. Didn't complain, though, because it finished 2-0 to West Ham. The key to that game was discipline, level-headedness, concentration and control. You couldn't miss those things at all. Kura looked excellent, a £10 million bargain. And Moyes loves a bargain with his defensive sides. Look at Dawson, $2 million from Watford. Kura, a bargain too. Scamacca is going to turn into a very world-class player at this rate. He's world-class finishing, and I'm afraid he might not be around for much long. But if we continue to set our sights high and get Champions League football, maybe he does stay around for a bit longer. Rice, fantastic. Souček, improved performance. He was dribbled past absolutely no times in that game. Scamacca covered 3 miles of distance in that first half, and he ran his socks off. That's another compliment to him. Bowen's finally got off the mark, and that goal's going to do him confidence. Fornals, bit 50-50. Cresswell, crossing was a bit bad in the game. I think he was one of our worst players, but he certainly wasn't horrific. And Fabianski kept a clean sheet. So overall, it's been a good day in the office. Wolves fans need to be panicking. As for us, we're out of the relegation zone with this. And we've got Fulham next week, which is another relegation-threatened team. Let's hope we can go and get some points against them lot as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked the video, thumbs up. Don't forget to sub for more content. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all soon.